If you have a Switch 2 and you're buying used Switch 1 or Switch 2 titles, physical copies, for your Switch, you could be in danger of being banned. If someone has used a MIG Switch cartridge to clone that version, that copy of that specific game, and your Switch is online using it and their Switch is online using it at the same time, both Switches will be banned. But in this video, I'll explain what you can do to get unbanned easily, assuming you're not the one who illegally copied that game in the first place. Before we get into it, I just want to mention that most people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. But subscribing is completely free, and I upload new videos every single week. Okay, so this is probably the most controversial thing about the Switch 2 is right before it released, they said that if you were caught doing anything you weren't supposed to do with your Switch 2, you could face a ban. And this has a lot of controversy around it, especially when it comes to physical cartridges. The MIG Switch is a device that came out when the Switch 1 was around, and it allowed you to copy all of your physical games onto one single cartridge, and then you could carry all your games in one cartridge around with you. And then it was also sort of like a backup for your games, where if you had your MIG Switch, then you had all of your games with you, and also all your games were safely at home. But what a lot of people do is copy their games to their MIG Switch and then sell the game or rent the game or some version of that. So if you end up with an illegally copied game, you could get banned even though you've done nothing wrong. This hasn't happened to me personally, but we know from accounts online what has happened when people get banned, because if you buy a game on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, you don't know if it's going to be banned, especially if it's a very rare game like Super Mario 3D All-Stars or something like that. But when it comes down to it, if this happens to you and your Switch gets banned and you're not allowed to use Nintendo Switch online, what you need to do is contact Nintendo support, tell them you bought a game secondhand and you just were playing it as usual, and they'll be able to look at your account, they'll see if you've played the game before, and in a few minutes they can unlock your account. So there's no magic trick that you can do on your device or anything like that. You just have to contact Nintendo support, and the best way to do that is to call them. I'll link out Nintendo support in the description below, but there's really not too much to touch on in this video. It's just really important to me that people know that if you get banned, it's not just over, especially if it's not your fault. If you are copying games and you get banned, I do not think that this method will work, because they will somehow be able to figure it out from their end. So if you're playing by the rules, you should be fine, and just reach out to Nintendo if something bad happens. But I've honestly personally been avoiding buying secondhand games because I'm afraid of that happening. But now that I know this information about how easy it is to get unbanned, I might consider buying games again. So let me know if you've got banned, or if this video helped you get unbanned, or if you've had this issue with buying used games. I hope you haven't. But if you do, I hope that this video helps someone and gets them their account back. Anyway, that's all I got for this week. I'll see you guys in next week's video. Peace out.